Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one, the only, the most hated man. Oh, wait, I'm the most beloved man today because I have on my retro WWF Undertaker shirt for this Monday night, September 26, 2016. I almost said 2012, maybe because it's the end of the world, because not only was Monday Night Raw today, but it was also the debate between our two presidential candidates, our two wonderful, wonderful presidential candidates. That's funny. As soon as I said that, I started to smell shit. Let me grab my spray. I smell shit out here. And they must have known I was about to say Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton's names because I really smell like some extreme shit. It smells really bad. Like I've never smelled shit that smells that bad. It's surprising that I'm not spraying away the scent of Monday Night Raw, which was okay from a wrestling sense, but it was whack from a sense of entertainment. I wasn't really entertained. The only thing that entertained me about this episode of Monday Night Raw was TJ Perkins' entrance. However, I'm not going to shit on Raw today or how Raw started, which was on a sour note because they had Roman Reigns come out first. That's right. The first thing that happened on Monday Night Raw is something we usually don't see. And oh wow, my belt is actually falling to pieces, in the words of the train. But that's not something we usually see. We don't usually see a match in the beginning of Monday Night Raw, but we were granted with a match between Roman Reigns and Rusev. And honestly, if we're granted with more matches with Roman Reigns and Rusev as the beginning of Raw, please do not have matches start on Monday Night Raw. Because when you look at it, me personally, for this match, I didn't give a shit about it at all. You know why? Because I don't like Roman Reigns. And I don't give a damn about Rusev. And by proxy, I don't give a damn about the United States Championship because this championship belt right here, this XWF replica championship belt that I have on my waist on my shoulder as the XWF champion, means more than the United States Championship means. I could walk in right now and probably receive a Hall of Fame induction by holding this title quicker than Rusev or Roman Reigns, who's now the U.S. champion, would get from holding that piece of shit. Like, they've lost value. It's lost more value than an African dollar. And that's a lot of value lost. But they had a slow match on top of that. Now, this is the thing. If you're going to start, let me see how many viewers we have. Oh, hello to our viewers that we have right now. But what I want to say is if you have matches, right, why would you start off Monday Night Raw, the flagship show, with a match between two people that nobody really gives a shit about, for a title nobody gives a shit about, and have the match start slow as hell? It was a slow-ass match. Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't drunken all 3 bottles of the Bacardi 151 right there on my mantle because the match started off so slow. It was like watching turtles fuck. And that probably would have been even faster. But in the end, not only that, our intelligence was insulted because we already know who is Roman Reigns going to go up against for the United States Championship. Nobody, because nobody really wants the fucking title. Who do you really want to see with the title? We don't want to see Roman with it. We don't give a damn if Rusev has it. But here's what they do. Rusev had his rematch, which he called out for today. They needed to promote that there was going to be a title match. So what do? They go and they have this match. But in order to have somebody for Roman to feud with, they drag on a feud that we don't give a damn about. Now, I feel bad for Rusev because this is the second feud in a row that he was in that is confusing as shit. Nobody knows who's right and who's wrong, and we still don't give a damn about it to even wonder. The feud he was in with Rusev, the feud Rusev, see, is giving me a fucking stroke right now. That's how confused I am by the shit that happens to Rusev. The feud Rusev was in with Dolph Ziggler and Summer Rae, nobody understood, and nobody gave a damn about it. Now he's in a feud with Roman Reigns where he should be the face because he's defending his wife's honor, but instead he's the heel and Roman Reigns is the... What the fuck is Roman Reigns? What is he? We know he's Samoan, but what? He's what? He's a heel. He's a face. He's the ball of my soul of my shoe. What the fuck is Roman Reigns? He should be the heel in the story, and Rusev should be the face. But of course, we need the Samoan Prince to come save the day and be the rugged face. Like our intelligence is somewhere up Vince's fucking ass, right next to his grapefruits he calls balls. They end the match with a double countout. Now, of course, since there's no decisive winner, this is going to drag on into the next pay-per-view. What's their pay-per-view? Hell in a Cell, I believe. They have Hell in a Cell, don't they? Or is that going to be like a double pay-per-view? Who fucking knows? I just know in 2 weeks, most likely, because what is it, a pay-per-view every 2 weeks? No, next month, since they had their pay-per-view yesterday. In a month from now, they're going to have a pay-per-view, and this is going to drag on. So we're going to have a month of Rusev and Roman Reigns. Congratulations. I applaud you, WWE, for your sheer fucking stupidity. Thank you. Anyway, after that monstrosity of a match, let me go to my notes right here. This is the technology age, so you know motherfuckers have notes. I take more notes on wrestling at night than I do in my own damn college classes. Waste of megabytes. Okay, next match. Oh, I know. I took some notes. Did Roman, when he grabbed the belt, say, "Look what I got now"? It sounded like he said, "Look what I got now." And Rusev didn't even get an entrance. So that shows how much they care about him. But after that, there was a segment with Mick Foley. Oh, should we talk a little bit more about Roman Reigns? Let me think. No, not really. But I will say this. I think their next match might be a chairs match. But next segment, Foley comes out and talks about the cancellation of the match from yesterday with Cesaro and Sheamus, and supposedly going to come up with a decisive winner of the whole best of 7, which is another way WWE assaulted our intelligence. I guess this wasn't the fallout of WWE Clash of Champions. This was the fallout of WWE assaults our fucking intelligence. Because Foley comes out, and long story short, basically both of them get a title shot. They become tag team contenders. So we watched the best out of 7 series for what? What are we watching for? It was a waste of time. He could have skipped this whole shit and just had them become tag team contenders. And we know they're probably going to win the tag team championships because they did the same shit with Rhino and fucking what's the dude with 8,000 kids? Heath Slater. Yeah, Heath Slater. So they're probably going to be the new tag team champions. Big fucking whoop. Who knows what they're doing with the fucking club? I guess they hate New Japan more than they hate TNA because they let AJ Styles come WWE champion. The flagship titles champion. Fuck that universal fucking fruit roll-up title. So anyway, they were supposed to be, as I just spoiled, the number 1 contenders to whoever won the match between the New Day and the club. And of course, I have 3 words for the match between New Day and the club. Kofi's fucking face. Oh, I believe it was Anderson fucking threw Kofi Kingston. No, Gallows threw Kofi Kingston face first into the steel steps. He came back in for the save, hit his move, got the 1, 2, 3, and his face was busted the fuck open. Oh my balls. That was treacherous. I've not seen a face injury like that since Johnny Nitro and the fucking elbows of doom from Brock Lesnar to Randy Orton. That was bad. I hope that was a small cut above his eye. That was not supposed to happen, but hopefully he'll be all right. Maybe he just needs a stitch or 2 or some glue on his face. Who fucking knows? Okay. After that was the reverse jobber match. Now, why I call it a reverse jobber match? Bayley is seen as the underdog, but in most jobber matches, because I don't even know who the fuck the chick was that went up against her. In most jobber matches, always the jobber gets a few hits, and then the main competitor kicks their ass. Now, why was it that Bayley was getting her ass handed to her? Have you ever seen that in a jobber match? Bayley is the only person who can look like the underdog in a jobber match since Gilbert. Which is not fair because now they're going for the whole Bayley isn't ready thing, like she hasn't been wrestling for, 8 years? That's not a beginner. That's a borderline fucking veteran. And you're saying she's not ready, which kind of goes against my whole thing, what I said yesterday about how even if wrestlers have wrestled for years, then they could still necessarily not be ready. But come on now. Come on. Bayley was an NXT champion. And they did the same shit with her in NXT. WWE, get your shit together. After the match, which Bayley won, and she had a bit of a post-match interview, there was a Cruiserweights tag team match between Swan and Alexander versus Gulak, and I believe his name was Dorado. Alexander and Swan win. I don't like the fact that they have Swan dancing around like a new era version of Coco Beware. They always have black wrestlers either big and bulky doing destructive shit or acting like thugs or making an ass out of themselves, dancing, shucking, and jiving. The New Day are the only ones who kind of got out of the stereotype. But even them, I don't know. But this is a Cruiserweight. I can't even say he's not going to go far because who knows. But best of luck to him. Hopefully WWE doesn't fucking destroy him with Vince McMahon's racial undertones and everything else. I just hope for the best for this dude. They win the match against Gulak and Dorado. Then another tag match, another jobber match. I guess they're going to make sure there's at least 2 jobber matches per episode of Raw because this time Sheamus and Cesaro have their first match against tag team jobbers, and they win. But the whole thing was basically a virtual pissing contest. Who could do the best move? Sheamus bro kicks both tag team competitors, and Cesaro looks at him, shakes his head, gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. There's the win. Then Charlotte comes out with a promo, which leads to Sasha Banks coming out and saying she wanted her rematch there and then. But then it turned out that the match is being scheduled for next week. Sasha slaps Charlotte. Does the backstabber to Miss Piggy, also known as Dana Brooke. Then Charlotte kicks her in the ribs, but Sasha Banks does some weird ping-ponging through the ropes thing to Charlotte where she hits her, she falls to the ropes, and it hits her again. I guess that's like a reversal of what should happen to Dean Ambrose every time he does that fucking under the ropes clothesline. She should get bounced right the fuck back out the ring. And then she tosses out Dana Brooke and she stands tall, which makes me think that she's not going to get the championship back. But hopefully she does because she didn't have that one. Next up was the Dab champion, as I put, Mr. Mega Man himself, TJ Perkins, also known as Manic. I don't know if he ever got the X Division championship because there were so many Manic/suicides. So I'm not sure if he had it. He might have had it, but it was a while ago. It was back when Hulk Hogan was in TNA. So I will have to brush back up on my TNA history, even though TNA reviews are the most popular reviews on my channel. So check them out Thursday. I will definitely be doing another TNA review this Thursday. But I digress, in the words of Taz, also another TNA alum, also an ECW and WWE alum too. But as he would say, I digress yet again. The Dab champion, TJ Perkins, goes against Tony Nese. It was a very flexibly physical, I'm going to coin that term. It was a very flexibly physical match, but in the end, TJ Perkins gets the win with his submission, which I don't really remember what the fuck it's called, but it was a submission. Tony Nese tapped out. And now TJ Perkins, who also had a segment with the Brian Kendrick before his match, will be facing the Brian Kendrick in his hometown of Los Angeles next week for Monday Night Raw for the Cruiserweight Championship. And I wouldn't be surprised if they had the underdog do the job in his hometown just so that Brian Kendrick gets the title. But if he does beat Brian Kendrick, then what's left for him? He's basically a Cruiserweight version of Dolph Ziggler, but a wee bit older. After that was, let's look through. I believe after that was that was the highlight reel with Chris Jericho where he invited his best friend, Kevin Owens, on, which led to Ashton Kutcher and that bearded motherfucker from the Hangover movies saying that they're going to come and meet Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens and say who the real best friends are. Hold on, if you give me a minute to look through my fucking notes, I'll be able to, well, not my notes, but I'll look through and see what the other guy's name was. It was some weird shit. Ashton Kutcher. Oh, and Danny Masterson. Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson are going to be one Monday Night Raw as the guest stars, and they're going to confront Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Big fucking whoop. Just saying their names is putting me to sleep because nobody gives a shit about them. So, of course, they come to Monday Night Raw to feel relevant. Oh, my gosh. I'm so tired. I need some more heroin. Anyway, Seth Rollins comes out as expected, but there were a shitload of Rent-A-Cops, including the man who likes to fight, Finlay, which is kind of dumb because why is he coming out to prevent a fight when he likes to fight? I guess his shillelagh shrunk and now he's not a fighter anymore. That was a dick joke. So he gets pushed back. He's playing the angry face who's turned face due to respect of the people type shit, but he hasn't really adhered to the fact that he's a face. You know how some of the faces do. So we don't see him again for the rest of Monday Night Raw, which I actually was surprised because right after that, Enzo and Cass come out and they're scheduled to have a match with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. I expected Enzo and Cass to win due to interference from Seth Rollins, but we don't see Seth Rollins again, who's also not cleared because he had injuries to his ribs. But since there was no interference, it was kind of obvious that Enzo and Cass were not going to win due to the fact that Kevin Owens is the fruit roll-up champion, and that would be kind of bad for momentum for those guys to beat him. So, of course, Kevin Owens got the win on Enzo with a powerbomb while Big Cass is incapacitated from a big-ass big boot over the top rope at Chris Jericho, where I almost felt my jaw snap from the impact due to the fact that Chris Jericho slapped him upside the face a few times. And we end Monday Night Raw with Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho standing tall. Well, as tall as they can because they're both kind of short, stumpy motherfuckers. But that's all I really have to say for today. I would rate Monday Night Raw match-wise, content-wise. I rated the pay-per-view what? I think I rated the pay-per-view like a 7.5. I rate Raw maybe a 6. Yeah, I'll be fair, say a 6 for Monday Night Raw. It needs to be a little bit more entertaining. Hell, I'll give it a 6.5. No, actually, I'll give it a 6.25 because I'm taking away 0.25 points because I'm pretty sure the presidential debate was more entertaining than Monday Night Raw today. So this is Chaos with my Undertaker retro shirt. Look at the light shine on my XWF title. Watch it spin. This is not the WWE logo, you sons of bitches. Anyway, I'm out of here. Peace, love, hair grease, and your mother's a hooker. I'll see you guys tomorrow if I can stay awake long enough. Bring me Vicodin. I'm out of here.